All right, everyone get ready because today we're going deep on something really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
It's a YouTube channel
Okay.
called Bonitas.
Bonitas, huh?
You might be thinking, "Oh, great, another YouTube channel," but trust me, this one's different.
All right, I'm intrigued. What makes it so special?
Well, for starters, they have this really cool motto, stories for goodness.
Stories for goodness. That's interesting. It sounds like they're trying to do more than just entertain, right?
Yeah, it's like they're saying, "Hey, we're not just here to waste your time. We're here to make you think, make you feel, and maybe even inspire you to make the world just a little bit better."
I like that. A lot of channels out there are just focused on getting views and clicks, but it sounds like Bernitas is trying to actually make a positive impact.
Exactly. And it's not just some empty slogan either. You can see it in everything they do, from their
Mhm.
content to their logo.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about their logo.
Well, imagine this. It's a bird of kindness, spreading seeds of goodness all over the world. And its feathers. They represent all the different cultures out there. And there's this flower, too, a symbol of all the good deeds, blossoming and growing.
Wow, that's a powerful image. It really captures their mission of spreading goodness and promoting diversity. But okay, logos and mottos are one thing, but what about the actual content? What kind of videos do they make?
That's the really cool part. They have these three main categories: the graceful pioneers of knowledge and art, healthy eating and world cuisine corner, and healthy living.
So they're mixing history, culture, and self-improvement all into one channel. That's pretty ambitious.
It is, but they somehow manage to pull it off. Each category dives into this idea of goodness from a different angle.
Okay, I am hooked. Tell me more about each category. Let's start with the graceful pioneers of knowledge and art. What's that all about?
So in this series, they spotlight women from throughout history who, did these amazing things in their fields.
I love that they're highlighting women. We need more of that.
Right. And these women were trailblazers. They didn't just achieve great things for themselves, they used their talents and knowledge to make the world a better place.
It's like they're saying, look, success isn't just about personal achievement, it's about contributing something positive to society.
Exactly. And some of these women are like people you've probably never even heard of. They pushed boundaries, and their impact is still felt today.
Fascinating. Okay, I'm definitely checking that playlist out later. Now, what about this World Cuisine Corner? Are they like a cooking channel?
Kind of, but it's so much more than that. They explore all these diverse cultures through their traditional recipes and food practices.
That sounds delicious. I'm always up for trying new foods.
Me too. But here's the really interesting part.
Hmm,
They don't just show you how to cook the food.
right.
They explain how food connects to a culture's, identity and values.
Oh, I get it. So it's not just about learning how to make a tasty dish, it's about understanding the cultural significance behind it.
Right. It's like seeing food as a reflection of a society's history and beliefs. They even trace it back to Mesopotamia, where cherishing and sharing blessings through food first started.
Wow, that's amazing. I never thought about it like that before. Food really can tell us so much about a culture.
It totally can. Okay, now on to healthy living. This one's called Revitalize Your Life with Ancient Healing and Modern Science.
Ooh, that sounds intriguing. I'm always interested in learning about different approaches to health and well-being.
Well, they actually blend ancient medical teachings with, modern health knowledge.
That's an interesting combination. I'm curious to see how they pull that off.
Well, they emphasize a more, holistic approach to well-being. It's not just about what you eat or how much you exercise.
Right. It's about taking care of your mind, body, and spirit.
Exactly. And what's really cool is they weave in these real-life stories of people who have found healing and balance through this approach. It makes it so much more relatable and inspiring.
So they're not just giving you information, they're showing you how these principles can actually be applied in real life. That's really powerful.
It is. So we've got these three categories all connected by this thread of goodness. It's like they're showing us how to live more meaningful lives, both for ourselves and the world around us.
That's a great observation. And they're doing it in a way that's both engaging and thought-provoking. I'm already impressed. But okay, let's get specific. What are some examples of stories they've actually featured that really bring this mission to life?
Well, there's one that really stands out. It's about this group of Turkish high school students back in the 1960s.
The 1960s, huh? This should be good.
Yeah, so these students, they decided they wanted to build their own rockets. They called themselves the Bandurma Rocket Club.
Wait, high school students building rockets? That's incredible.
I know, right? And they actually managed to launch several rockets, one even reaching over 5,000 meters.
That's amazing. I can't even imagine the passion and determination it must have taken, especially back then. Did they have any support?
Well, they had a lot of support from their local community. Teachers, shopkeepers, even the town mayor got behind them.
That's really heartwarming. It shows how a community can rally around a shared dream.
It does. But unfortunately, their story isn't all sunshine and roses. They faced a lot of challenges, including a political climate that wasn't too keen on their activities. They ended up having to disband the club.
Oh, that's so sad to hear. It sounds like their story has a lot to teach us about perseverance, the power of community support, and maybe even the challenges of pursuing your dreams in the face of adversity.
Definitely. And speaking of stories that make you think, there's another one about this ancient astronomical instrument called the astrolabe.
The astrolabe, what's that?
Well, think of it like the sky computer of ancient times. It was used to calculate star positions, tell time, and even find directions. Pretty impressive for something invented centuries ago.
Wow, that's incredible. It sounds like something straight out of a science fiction novel. So they're not just telling us historical facts, they're showing us how the ingenuity of the past can still inspire us today.
Exactly. And get this, they also have these weekly features called Maxims and 1-Minute Insights.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued. What are those like?
Well, the Maxims are these short, thought-provoking statements. Like, one they shared is, meaning is eternal.
Meaning is eternal. I like that. It's a good reminder that even when things are tough, there's always something bigger than ourselves to hold on to.
Yeah. And then there's the 1-Minute Insights, which are like these little bursts of wisdom on different topics. One they shared is genuine truth, free from deception.
Ooh, that's a good one. In today's world, it's so easy to get caught up in misinformation and half-truths. It's a good reminder to always seek the truth, even if it's uncomfortable.
Right. So they're covering a lot of ground history, food, health, self-improvement, all tied together by this thread of goodness. It's like they're showing us how to live more meaningful and fulfilling lives, both for ourselves and the world around us.
It's a really unique and refreshing approach. They're not just entertaining us, they're making us think, feel, and maybe even inspiring us to make a positive difference. I'm definitely adding them to my subscription list.
Me too.
It's amazing how Bonitas can bring these stories together, history, science, and real people.
It's like they make it all like come alive,
Exactly. And this story, the one about the Bandırma Rocket Club, is a great example of that. These high school students in Turkey in the 1960s who just had this dream of space.
It's incredible to think about like actually doing it. What were some of the challenges they had to deal with?
Well, first of all, they had to, build the rockets from scratch.
Yeah, that's not exactly easy.
It wasn't. And they didn't have much money or supplies. Imagine trying to find rocket engines before you could just, buy anything online.
That's a good point. It must have taken a lot of, creativity to figure it all out.
It did. They had to use whatever they could find, and they built their own launch pad.
Seriously?
Oh.
That's amazing.
It really shows you what people can do when they're determined. And they had support from their community, too.
We talked about that before. The whole town was behind them.
Yeah, teachers, shopkeepers, everyone. But then they had to deal with some political stuff, too.
It was a different time back then.
It was. Turkey in the 1960s, there was a lot going on, and they were worried about anything that seemed, too close to space exploration and rocket technology.
It's sad that their dream got shut down because of politics.
It is. But even with that, their story is a reminder to support young people with big ideas,
Definitely. And speaking of big ideas, what about this astrolabe thing? You mentioned it before. What's so fascinating about it?
Well, it's just this simple device, just some discs with markings.
That's it.
But with that, they could figure out, the positions of the stars, tell time, and even calculate latitude.
Whoa. I need to see a picture of this thing.
I know, right? It was basically a map of the sky that you could hold.
That's so cool. And the ideas behind it are still used today.
I know. Bonitas does a great job of connecting those dots,
Totally. What about those weekly features? Those little nuggets of wisdom?
Oh, yeah, the maxims and 1-minute insights, they're like these little reminders,
Yeah. Like that one, meaning is eternal.
Right. And then there's that other one about truth. That's a big one in today's world.
It really is.
Yeah.
They're like giving us mental snacks to think about.
Exactly. And it all ties back to their mission of, being good and growing as people.
It's like they're challenging the idea of what educational content can be. It's fun and makes you think.
Totally. And it feels real, like a conversation.
Yeah. They're not just lecturing, they're talking with us.
And that makes a big difference.
It does. So we've talked a lot about what makes Bonitas, well, Bonitas. But what really makes them different? There are so many YouTube channels out there.
That's true. I think it's their focus on, good values. It's more than just facts and figures. They want people to be better. Kinder.
It's like they're using these stories to inspire people to be their best selves.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't feel preachy at all. You know what I mean?
It's subtle, like they're just presenting these examples and letting you decide what it means.
Right. Like that story with the Rocket Club. They could have just made it a happy story about kids and rockets, but they didn't.
They showed how things can get complicated, with politics and everything else.
Yeah. It's a reminder that even when people have good intentions, things don't always go smoothly.
And they don't shy away from that, do they? They keep it real, but they also, stay positive.
Yeah. I think that's important. They're saying, hey, things might be tough, but we can still find good things and work together.
And that's another thing they do well. It's not just them talking at us. They create a sense of community.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Like with those weekly features. Those make you want to think and talk about it with others.
Exactly. And in today's world, feeling connected to others is so important.
It really is. It's like they're reminding us that we're all in this together.
Yeah.
Trying to figure things out and make the world better.
That's what makes Bonitas so special. It's not just information, it's, hope and inspiration.
It's like a breath of fresh air, a reminder that there's still good in the world and we can be part of it.
I think that's a great way to put it. So if you're looking for something different, check out Bonitas. Their stories might just inspire you to, make a difference in your own way.
I think they will. It's a channel with a lot of heart and a lot to say. And who knows, maybe you'll even learn something new along the way.
And that's what it's all about, right? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.